welcome to another exciting edition of Tween the Lines, and we are back after a couple of weeks of absence again. So, looking to once again get up another exciting episode out to you lovely people. So, I'll introduce the people that are around me that will be joining the show, as they always have. To my right, Mr. Jeremy Wolfhart, welcome.
Always a pleasure.
And to my left, one with the Crows polo and one with the Liverpool Guernsey. Oh my God. There was
good to be here. Very happy to be here.
Completely not necessary. So
Celtics bashed the Lakers by 20 points.
Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago now, so no one cares. Our
We didn't
season's...
have a podcast, did we?
Yeah, well, that was by design. Anyway,
Very good to be back. Very good to be back.
so today we will open in Europe. We will open in Europe with the UK. You look like you've got something to say here, Peter.
I can just see because my beaming
He's
from
salivating.
face to face
He's
because
just-
of the topic we're about to talk about.
He is
So,
salivating right now.
After much time, probably a little bit, a few more weeks than he deserved.
Few more weeks. Few.
Nick was 15 when
Solskjaer is
he wanted
gone.
Few.
him out. Nick wanted him out years ago.
Few. He should have left about 6 months ago.
So you say, because as you say that he should have left after the
Europa League final.
Europa League final.
The fact that it took 100 minutes to make a substitution against a team that finished 8th in Spain, 8th, are now playing Champions League. Yeah, that really just says it all. Do I need to add anything else, man?
No, not really. I'm surprised you're being so restrained.
Well, he's won now.
I won the treble, Jeremy.
I was
You came at me for too long, and you're like, it's too early. It's just too early. And here I am, and I won the treble. Three.
He's ready to do a lap around the room.
Now, the champagne was already popped. That was a couple weeks ago.
I think it's interesting, and Jeremy and Nick, I don't know whether you agree with me on this, but I don't see how he was gone. Sorry, let me try that again. I don't see how he wasn't sacked after Liverpool. For some reason, they backed him, said it'll be fine. He then lost, was it 1-0 or 2-0 against City? 2-0. 2. So he then lost 2-0 against City. And then they still backed him. And then he got done by Watford. And they finally got rid of him, right? So with the Prem the way it is at the moment, and the way top four, inevitably when you get a new manager in, right, you're going to get a new manager bounce. So you might not necessarily have won against City, but you might have drawn. Or probably won against Watford. So do you think that with the like I said, the shape of the Premier is, how close it is at the moment, with all the teams battling for probably that fourth spot, because top three is probably decided, do you think that delaying that decision to sack him by that many weeks could possibly cost you top four?
Yes. But I think we'll end up finishing top four because we've got a very easy run for the next 2 months, because all of our hard games have sort of happened. Like I don't think we play a team in the top half till at least Christmas or something.
That's exactly who you lose to.
Exactly right, but that's in the past. I was with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
So I think that probably works in well to what we're going to go with next.
No way.
So,
It sounds like it's a challenge here.
so like I said, this works in well in line with the result that we had last night with West Ham beating Chelsea, with Rangnick coming in, Ragnarok coming into
Ragnick, Peter, Ragnick. Say it after me. Ragnick.
Ragnarok.
Oh my God.
Rang Nick
So-
touring that shit.
To me, I think top three is decided. I don't know what the order is going to be, but I think the top three is obviously going to be City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and we don't know what order. So it's going to be a battle for fourth. So in the battle for fourth, you've got United, West Ham, and Arsenal. Do you think any other teams are possibly a shout of finishing top fourth? Because Arsenal are finding a bit of form.
I think it'll be West Ham or Arsenal.
It's probably. I think the problems are too deep at Tottenham, even with Conte.
Even with Conte. I agree, problems go too deep.
Probably get sacked by July anyway, the way the Spurs are going.
You've also got Wolves sitting in 8th, but I don't think Wolves are going to.
I don't think they'll make that push.
No.
Probably around the European spot, I reckon. On the 6 to 8 spot.
On the 6 to 8, yeah, 6 to 8. So, like I said, top 3, I think we probably all unanimous.
Well, Stevie could see the top 3 will be the top 3, so.
Like I said, so for fourth, you've got West Ham, Arsenal, and Man United. Tottenham probably are going to fall away. I don't think they're going to last the challenge. So I think it's between them. Who do you actually think will get fourth spot?
West Ham.
Yeah. Because they beat Chelsea. And Chelsea conceded, it was 3-2, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So, to put that into some form of perspective, I saw this stat. Granted, this was a couple of weeks ago because we haven't had a pod in the last few weeks. But I mean, I guess it's still the same. So I think it was Opta Sport posted it, that in his first 50 matches, I assume this is the Prem. So in his first 50 matches as Premier League manager, Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea conceded 25 goals.
So 0.5.
Huh?
0.5.
1 goal every 2 games. Yeah. So, and
First time they've conceded more than once.
yeah, first time they conceded more than once, and also that 25 goals in 50 games. That's actually an English top flight record. No manager in any top flight. So, yeah, I actually think West Ham beating Chelsea is actually a pretty big result. Like, they got a big result against us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
got
actually
the
think
to prove that they can do it. So.
on current form and the way they're going at the moment, I think West Ham could possibly finish fourth.
What about in terms of for Chelsea? Because now they're a little bit behind the 8 ball. They're now 3rd. There's much change, or is it just kind of I don't think it would, but
No, I still think they're going to.
but because of the way that City and Liverpool have just been able to pick up results.
But going into that, I think I've watched the highlights. I'll watch the extended highlights a little bit later. I had a bit of a big night last night. So
Thank you for sharing that, Peter.
Highlights, but I think yesterday has kind of shown that I think we're probably going to fall away at some point over the next month or two. We just don't have the depth. We just don't have the depth to keep up with City and Chelsea, who have enormous benches. So I think we're going to fall away.
African Cup as well.
We played Tyler Morton in a Champions League game, for Christ's sake.
Exactly. So yeah, and like I said, with AFCON coming up, we're going to fall away. I don't think it changes my perspective. I still think Chelsea are going to win it. Like I said, top 3 is top 3. At this moment in time, it doesn't change a lot because, like I said, I see us falling away a little bit. And when Chelsea and City have the depth that they do, there's not much you can do about it, really.
Well, Salah and Mane pissed off. We're in strife. Big strife.
Salah's like our leading goal scorer.
Yeah,
at the moment.
I think Mane's second.
Yeah, so missing them is going to be pretty big. And
Jota would have to be huge for us to stay around.
Jota's going to have to
big
to carry, and
But he's been in for Firmino.
We got to hope that for our sake, that Mane and Salah get knocked out early, and then they come back.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, I kind of want them knocked out early. And then, we just have to rely on Clutch Origi.
You see that
coming on in like the 90th minute and scoring.
The Senegalese coach, he say how to go at Klopp.
No?
Yeah, he said in an interview he respects Liverpool, but he doesn't have any respect for Klopp because Klopp was caught saying AFCON is a little tournament, and then they took it personally, and so there's been a big uproar about how Klopp said it, and Klopp's come out and said it was just what he was saying. He didn't actually mean it's a little tournament. He's just saying in terms of the Premier League and everything, but they've taken it the wrong way. So there's a bit of beef there.
Actually, now that we're talking about AFCON, just going back to our discussion about top 4, that means Aubameyang won't be playing for a bit either.
But he's shit anyway. I've seen Arsenal fans wanting him out.
I mean, he's been wanting out for ages.
Yeah.
So
They've been saying they've been playing with 10 men when he's playing. Like, that's how off Aubameyang they are. So I can't see
fair enough. I suppose we can kind of pivot into the next topic, which happened. It was earlier this week, wasn't it? No, it was this week with the Ballon d'Or. Now, there's a lot of uproar about deserving, if Lionel Messi deserved it or not. So I'll ask the question pretty bluntly: did he deserve it? If he didn't, who should have won it?
I don't know. It's tough because Messi's Messi, but I think Lewandowski should have gotten it for missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a crazy season, and I think even Messi said it in his speech that Lua should have been given it. So I don't know. I think I would have given it to Lua, but Messi's stats speak for themselves still. But Salah 7th is a bit disrespectful. But I'm okay with it because that's just him saying, okay, so you're going to put me 7th. That's just more fuel to the fire.
I think it also...
Because he didn't win anything.
Yeah.
I know.
That's the whole point.
But if you... Okay, I know they based it off team accomplishments, but if it's an individual award, don't you think they should base it off individual accomplishments as well as maybe team accomplishments?
It's a team sport, Jake.
It is a team sport, but it's not a team trophy.
Hence why Jorginho finished 3rd.
But it's not a team trophy. The whole team...
Yeah, but that's part of your job, is to do it at a high level for your team.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what
Champions League, Euros, most importantly Euros.
So, what about Ronaldo? He's carrying Manchester United on his back.
He is.
Literally
He
carrying
is.
him on the back.
And he got rid of Ole as well. Look at that. That's a major effort. That's a superb effort.
Agent Ronaldo. Yeah, look, I think Messi is probably fair. Okay, I don't like Salah in 7th, but by the same token, knowing the form that he had and we had as a team as a whole last season, I can kind of see where they're coming from because we were bang average form last season. Then you also throw basically the whole first 11 getting injured. So yeah, like I said, considering where we were as a team last year, it does, in a way, I kind of see where they're coming from and why he was 7th. I don't think he will be 7th next time.
No, he's having a better season already than what he was last year. I think he's averaging a goal every game. And maybe 2 goal involvements every game. He's been ridiculous so far this year. He's been the best player at the Prem.
Mm-hmm.
Better.
No, I'm not disagreeing. No, I'm not disagreeing. Actually, that's a good discussion. Who else would be in that race?
Well, you'd have to... City. Who's playing the best for City?
I don't know. I don't really want to
Yeah,
see.
No one cares about
In terms of
City.
an
Not
actual
even
standing.
City fans care about City.
Yeah, no.
They're just there to say, oh, we won.
Who is in that discussion? Who could potentially challenge Salah for best player of the season?
It's interesting. Probably Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo, just in the way that he is.
Nah, too far. We won't finish high enough. It's like Kane. It's like Harry Kane last season. It's like Harry Kane last season, where he led in goals and assists, but they finish 8th.
To be honest,
So it's like-
to anyone, give it to De Gea over Ronaldo as the potential United challenger. The way De Gea.
That's a good shout, actually. I think the Ga's been really good.
Yeah.
For how much...
The only thing that's going to screw De Gea over is the amount of goals we've conceded.
No, well, that's his fault.
Probably a lot more if it was.
Well, I know the technicality. It's not, but if you really delve into it, but if you put it bluntly, you know, you look at playing goals conceded, and now he hasn't had. Well, the only world-class centre back he's had in front of him is Varane since Rio Ferdinand, and that was 8 years ago.
Just quickly, where is United in the Champions League group?
top.
Top.
No, we got top.
Have you?
So this week's game, dead rubber.
Yeah, because I was going to say you're.
We've already gone through.
You're like us, Haley. You've officially qualified, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't move out of first.
Oh, you can't move out.
No, I can't move
Yeah,
out
they're,
of
they're
first.
like us, so they can't move out of first.
Because I know there's officially qualified, and then there's locked up top spot. Because if you finish top spot, you get the better draw, don't you?
So
Well, you play someone that's second. That's not from your own country.
Yeah.
also, going back, I know that we've got AFCON coming up, but the final tally of the Golden Boot is going to be interesting because obviously we've got Sullivan first on 13th. In second, you've then got Vardy on 9th. In third, you've got Jota on 8. In fourth, you've got Mane on 7. And then in fifth, you've got Bernardo from City.
So we've got 3 of the top 4 scorers.
3 of the top 5.
3 of the top 5. Wow.
3 of the top 5, which is a pretty insane stat. But they are going off to AFCON, so
It's notoriously a shit period coming up for us too.
Yes,
Christmas period.
that's what I mean. Is this is our period where we shit the bed.
Yeah.
And we also don't have depth, and we are also losing Salah and Mane. So that's why I say yes, we're in touching distance of top at the moment. I think we're a point behind City, but we are going to fall away.
I've just realised the transfer window opens up soon too. It's not that far away. The January transfer window.
Well, yeah, obviously about 4 weeks away.
Do you think Liverpool maybe buy someone to cover it? Or?
I would like us to, because there's 2 answers to that question. Do I think we should buy a player or players to help us? Yes. But do I think we will? No.
No, we'll get Mitch Duke from Central Coast Mariners to cover Mane.
Nice.
Just going on the transfer.
Bessar Barisha.
Just going on the transfer there. I think Newcastle have to probably be a bit busy.
They're going to pick up Jesse Lingard.
Jesse Lingard.
Transfer.
I'm good with being on the end of the English tax for once. Yeah, 100 mil.
Oh my
That's
God.
what average English players are worth, apparently. Grealish.
Oh,
Maguire.
come on.
What has Grealish done since he's gone to a proper team?
Okay, look.
So hang on, when he isn't the
I am not
centrepiece of a
saying-
team,
I am not saying that Grealish isn't overpriced, but are you really going to call Grealish average?
what's he done at City?
He's been alright. Not 100 million tag though.
He can't even cement a starting spot, let alone...
Yeah, but
Huh?
it can be difficult to adjust at City, though.
City-
We've seen that in the past. Fernandinho, for example.
City
He was
bought him
highly
for the
touted.
merchandise,
He
so-
went in there.
City-
Yeah, and he's now arguably their most important player in midfield,
Yeah,
even
that's my point.
over...
Thank you for proving my point.
Kevin De
It
Bruyne.
takes some time.
yeah, but Fernandinho's coming from another country. Jack Grealish is coming, what, 50
From
k's down the
Aston-
road?
Yeah, but Aston Villa plays like they're from another country half the time, so...
Hey, that's Steven Gerrard's team. You watch him now, man. You watch
To
him
be
now.
fair, he was not managing them at the time.
I don't care. It's a touchy-feely subject for us. That's our boy.
Yeah, go Villa. Go Villa, yeah.
Go to Villa.
I think that's pretty much it. Is there anything else that's caught someone's eye? Maybe overnight?
Like I said, in the 2 weeks that we haven't been here, I don't think there's been
It's too much going on.
A lot of things go wrong. Yeah, there hasn't really been big news. Conte took over. Well, we had the break, didn't we?
Conte, no.
No, we spoke about that, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, yes, right. Yeah, we did speak about that a couple of weeks ago.
We will. So we'll move on to our next topic. Yeah, we can do that. There you go. We've just decided. So we'll move back here to Australia, and discuss what has happened.
Wait, if we move back to Australia, do we have to quarantine?
We will have to quarantine, so we'll be off. We'll be off for another 2 weeks, and then we'll be discussing the AFL draft. So now we will pivot back to Australia. We've finished our quarantine. Thanks for letting me know about that, Jake. I would have gotten in a lot of trouble. Now, the most recent AFL draft, which happened last week. So who was okay? I'll start with this. Which team probably caught your eye? Someone that did. Obviously, hindsight will be a wonderful thing, but Who's a team that probably caught your eye and said, you know what, they actually did quite well?
Fremantle.
Fremantle?
Yeah.
We're in agreement?
Fremantle. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, easily 100%
I think they won
Fremantle.
the draft. What did they get? Johnson, Erasmus?
So they got Jai and Miss with pick 8.
Yeah, that's
so they
right.
got the best tall
Forward.
forward in the draft, if you don't count.
Who's also a West Australian.
Yeah, if you don't count Sam Darcy, because he's more of a ruck and a forward.
Mm.
But he might be a forward. They got Neil Erasmus, who's a very tall, very powerful midfielder. And then they got the steal of the draft, in my opinion, in Matthew Johnson, who should have been a top 10 selection. Somehow fell out of the top.
Pretty cool. That's a big cool.
No, I had him going to Fremantle with one of their
Was
first
they
round
Jai
selections.
miss? Would you have had them having
I had
Jai
them
first?
getting a miss, and I had them getting Johnson. I didn't get them having Erasmus. I just thought there was too many WA players for them to get. But no, Johnson fell. He should not have been taken ahead. I mean, obviously hindsight will be 2020, but just based off the talent you can see right now, Johnson is one of the most talented players. I know for a fact he was being considered with the Crow selection, which they went with Rachele.
Yeah.
But he was a potential pick for pick 6 because
I like Johnson.
so I thought once Fremantle can pick him, maybe West Coast might take him. Maybe a team that wants a midfielder, or maybe a team picking late in the first round that doesn't have any particular needs will take him, and no one did. And when Fremantle picked up in the second round, I'm just like, wow, this could go down as a super draft.
I think personally, Johnson or Taylor is probably the steal of the draft. Obviously, we haven't seen them play yet, but just basing off of where they were touted and ranged, Crows picking up Taylor with 30 something.
40.
Was it 40? Was it?
43, because I think
43 or something.
yeah, because we were meant to have 47. We picked Saligo, and then we traded back. We traded up to go to 43.
Yeah, because we saw that he was still available, so we traded back up. And the fact we actually tried to trade into Melbourne's second round pick, but what happened was us and Melbourne had decided on a trade. We put it through to the AFL, but the AFL blocked it because the Crows had already had that pick prior.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, so we got blocked. So then we had to quickly pick Saligo. So I don't know, is that who we wanted really, or
Yeah,
they're just
Here's the thing though, with the two major, I think, steals, so to speak, were Arlo Draper and of course Taylor. They were fringe first round picks. Johnson was a top 10.
by
prospect.
some had him top 10. Some had,
Most
not everyone
had
had
him
him
top
top 10.
10.
Who's this again, sorry?
Matthew Johnson.
Oh, Johnson, yeah.
I would consider a top 10 prospect falling to the second round more of a steal than a fringe first round prospect falling.
I get that, yeah, but I saw on a lot of boards Taylor was in that 12 to about 18 mark.
I don't think he was that high. I know Kalatomi had him going in the first round in his last minute mock.
Yeah.
I want to say Sydney. I don't have it in front of me. I think it was Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney took a bit of a bolter. They took a bolter with the pick that
I-
they got from us.
I had Draper going in the first round. I thought Draper was a first round prospect, but I knew he had slid down draft boards and there was a chance. I didn't think he would fall down to pick 40. Don't get me wrong. It's still a steal where he got picked up.
wasn't it the Pies that picked him up?
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Before Essendon, and Essendon
Yeah.
had the other brother?
Yeah. So I'm just looking at it now. Zach Taylor was picked 44.
And he was touted, I want
So
to say,
we-
between 12 and
Obviously,
20
we
something.
picked Rachele, and then I think we tried to trade when we had pick 36. I remember we were sitting there for quite a while.
Yeah,
The trade didn't go,
because the
so
AFL
we
blocked
obviously
it.
went for Saligo.
Yeah.
And then we traded back in a higher
Mhm.
to get Zach Taylor.
Because I think we were in the
44.
70s after our Saligo pick. Yeah.
After it. So, to be honest, with 36, I probably would have liked to have gotten Draper.
Yeah. Some South Australian talent would have been nice, I reckon.
Yeah, I think if we'd gone Rachele, Draper, and Taylor, I would have been pretty happy. Also, I found it really interesting as well. and look, to me, it's not surprising that it happened. When we picked Zach Taylor, I just found the footage of our room really interesting, because if you go back and watch it, for maybe the first 30 or 40 seconds, everyone's talking to each other, they're all pointing at screens, they're all looking at their phones kind of thing. And then after that, they kind of all just sit back. And then I think the clock continues to count down for about another minute, a minute and a half, and then it comes, the pick is in.
Yeah.
And I was, and you know, here, I've seen it all the time, all over social media that, you know, we put the pick in the first, 30 or 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And it sits there and waits. It doesn't need to be as long as it is.
No.
I think the thing where they have, the countdown and they show the highlights, do that for, and all the interviews, do that for like the first 10, maybe 15 picks, and then after that, just
They drag it. Yeah, they definitely drag it.
There is no reason it needs to be over 2 days. There is categorically no reason for it to be over 2 days.
Yeah, for some reason they're trying to be like the NFL. Yeah. This is where it's over two days, and like the NFL's got about 250 to 300 picks. The AFL's got about 80. Like, there's no need.
The only reason is what you have 5 minutes to pick, and then you can extend your time, right? So I think to curve it, what they should say is you have 3.
And then you have 2 minutes extension.
It's 2-minute extension.
Yep.
But you're only allowed to do that twice.
Yeah, because you should know your pick, I think. Within 3 minutes, you should have because every team has their board. They write off every player.
You see it all the time.
They have their big board of who's the next best talent.
I think it should be a percentage. So maybe if you have more picks, by virtue, you can have more extensions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it should be a percentage. But that's what it needs to be, because it doesn't need to go on for 3 or 4 hours. What was it, like 3 or 4 hours for the first session, and then
I went for 2.5 hours, and then the next night was 2 hours. So
you
it's
can
almost,
get that done in a day.
yeah, easily.
Of course you
Start at
can.
like
Of
12.
course you can.
Well, let's talk about Port's pick. Or
Pick or picks.
Yeah. As a Crows fan, I'm not going to really have too much to say about it, so I'm going to put it up to the Port boys. Are you guys happy with who you picked up, or would you have liked someone else?
No, look, Josh Sin was considered.
He's a line breaker. I like Sin.
Well, when a couple of years ago, before COVID hit, with the under 16s range, some people had Josh Sin as the top prospect in the entire country. Now, he was still considered a top 5 prospect entering this year, but injuries plus COVID dropped him back down. If he plays up to the talent they reckon he has, we could look upon this being a very big steal. We needed speed. You can't teach speed. It makes sense.
You can train it. Can't teach talent.
I think you're going to have some sort of natural ability to be fast too.
Yeah, you can train speed.
You can get faster.
You can't train speed in a text walker.
But you can get faster.
You can't, but you can get faster. But that's different, because there's a key forward.
There's certain
You
techniques.
can build someone
Powerful.
to get faster. But there's a difference between being faster and being fast. I could get faster if I got skinnier. I would still get my absolute ass handed to me by Josh Sin in a 100-meter sprint. It doesn't matter how good I get, I'm not built for speed. Josh Sin is built for speed. And it makes
So
sense.
are you saying Josh Sin is doing the grand final sprint for you next year after you get knocked out in the prelims again?
Just again? With that 3 years?
We've got to get to a prelim first, Peter.
Hey, we win prelims at home, right? We don't choke them. That was the biggest
Just quietly,
prelim ever.
just quietly, we've won more home prelims than the Crows. But anyway, we'll let that one slide. My question here is, would we have still gotten Sin had we not have traded up, or was Essendon?
I reckon Sin. I don't know for sure. I don't know what teams were planning. I do know Essendon likes Sin.
Who else did you pick?
We picked Dante Vicentini, Ruckman, because we needed a third Ruckman with Lanham's gone. We have Hugh Jackson, who's a local Port fan, and he's
North Adelaide.
he's quite an interesting prospect. We've got Jace Burgoyne, who's obviously.
So really, you got a few project players who could be.
Vicentini is a project. I think Hugh Jackson probably won't debut this year because he's got a hip injury, so he's going to be out till March, I believe. whether or not Jeremy Finlayson takes the spot of Peter Laddams and Port revert back to a one ruck system. That we'll see.
Nick's a
down the
fan of
line.
the one ruck system, isn't he?
I don't care what system we use as long as it works, because nothing works at the moment.
I'm a fan of the two ruck system personally, so I'd like to see Sam Hayes.
Do you like?
Jeremy,
But-
we're not going to get Jeremy Finlayson.
But the thing with Finlayson is that he is a forward first before a ruckman, which is the opposite to what Peter was.
Yes,
And with
so
Lysa in the side, it
which is why I
complements
said
better.
It looks like we're reverting to a one ruck system, unless someone maybe like Todd Marshall is losing his spot. I don't know, but it might be they just play Aaliyah or Dixon or Finlayson as a pinch hitting whenever Lysa needs time off.
We suit better anyway with a smaller lineup. Always have.
Yeah.
Always
I
have.
think Finlayson is a potential 40-goal forward. You know, we haven't had too many tools that can be capable of that, like just basically Schultz and Dixon in the last decade or so. So, I think it's going to depend how Finlayson breaks into the team, if he can be that true number 2 forward, because, you know, Georgiades, he's obviously very
Georgiades will be the second best forward next year.
I think-
Well, not second, but like second of the tall forwards, so to speak.
I think Georgiades is short enough he can get away being the medium forward, the leaping medium forward. I think he can get away with that, so I don't think...
Okay, how about this? However way you want to put it, Georgiades will be our best forward next year. Tall, small, doesn't matter how you put it. He'll be our best forward next year.
He'll be top 2 for sure. I don't know if he'll replace Dixon this year or not.
He'll be better than Dixon.
What's your beef with Dicko?
No, there's no beef.
How old is he?
I'm just saying what I think's going to happen.
I think he's 30. But
I just think Georgiades can be an all-round better player.
I think, don't get me wrong, for sheer talent, Georgiades will be our number 1 forward. There's no doubt. Whether or not it happens this year, or next year, I'm not certain about yet. I'm not certain about that yet.
Sheldrick was a big bolter for the Swans when at 18. Angus Sheldrick.
It always happens in the draft, late in the draft, and Georgiades was actually one of them when Paul picked him. Some players that people weren't really sure were going to be picked in the top, 20 picks. They do get picked in the top 20 picks. That always happens. You know, teams in the late first round, they'll just take who they want.
We had a bolter last year with 10. For the life of me, I can't think of the name of the player. I'd have to look at it, but I know we had a bolter with pick 10.
Oh, you're talking about Pedler, was it?
Yes, Luke Pedler.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because he was picked. He was picked early, late. But yeah, I think bolters happen in every draft.
I think our last great bolter as the pros fan was probably Duday.
Duday was definitely a bolter.
Yeah.
He was considered to be not really pickable. Well,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say not pickable. That's a bit harsh. But he was like I don't know, ranked 40th or something along that line that he got picked. And it worked. It worked for the Crows. I mean, he is injury prone to an extent, but in terms of talent, he's obviously
See,
exceptionally talented.
that's what I find with us is like we notoriously
Shit the bed in the first round.
yeah, but later on we're fine. Like Sloan was like a late pick. I'm pretty
Laird-
sure
Laird
Shaw
was
was a
rookie
late
draft.
pick.
Laird was a rookie draft.
Yeah, Laird was a rookie draft.
People always forget that we picked up a player in the pre-season draft as well.
Yeah.
Luke Nankervis.
Yeah.
And he's not the worst looking bloke either.
So like I said, our early picks generally go pretty south, but like our late ones,
a
like
small
10.
forward with pick 6. Oh my god. Everyone's like, oh, Rachele this, Rachele that. I'm thinking, a small forward with a top 10 pick. He's not going to have his hands on the
I
ball
don't
enough.
think that's a bad thing.
You're a Paul fan. You love it.
I hated it though.
Oh.
See,
Because I thought you got a talented player.
He's
see,
not even that
the thing
great.
is, we need a small forward because we need a reliable small forward because we don't have one at the moment.
More than a midfielder?
Huh?
More than a midfielder?
We do. Crouch is done. He's bloody.
Yeah, but how?
How many
Yeah, but
midfielders
how?
did you draft last season?
Who did we draft last season?
Pedler can play midfield. Cook
Yeah,
can
but
play
he's not gonna be playing
midfield.
anytime soon. There's another first round pick we probably should.
I like the look of because we've got some alright players going through the mid now.
I mean, Schomburg's good. I like Shoei. I like
Schomburg,
Keys.
Berry,
Berry's
Keys.
good. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But I still would have picked a Ben Hobbs or a Neil Erasmus before I picked a.
Because
I just want to point out, I gave Ben Hobbs to the Crows in my first mock draft, and you flipped your wig.
Yeah, because I wasn't a big fan of what Hobbs was doing at the time, but then I went and watched actual footage of him, and you were right, he's a great player. And I think we would have enjoyed an inside ball.
See,
because
I know what you're saying, right? But by the same token, it's all well and good getting the inside ball and getting into the forward line. But if you've got no forwards to kick your goals...
It's a double-edged sword. If you've got no great mids to get the ball into the forwards, you've basically a pick six on the forward that's not getting his handle. He's touching the ball 3 times a game.
Yeah.
So I get it. I understand we have a lack of small forwards, but not pick six on a small forward. And he wasn't. He could have been touted to have been taken later. We could have traded up and still taken him. I think he would have been available. I genuinely think he would have been available later. I don't think there was any other teams around us that would have picked him.
I think drafting for need in the AFL is. It's not.
It's risky.
Yeah, but I think if you're purely going into the draft saying, okay, we have to get this, then you're kind of relying on that player sort of to come of age straight away. Whereas if you go out and you get majority of the best talent, you can say, okay, well, at least they can come out, do whatever, we've got time to develop. We're not relying on them to play a certain spot. So at 19, 18...
I also found it really interesting that, to be honest, it was primarily from the Crow supporters camp. But there was a lot of criticism of us going fairly small for the players that we were picking up. And I don't really get the criticism of that, to be honest. I think, obviously, Nick's and has a vision. Ogilvy's probably got a vision, and I imagine the new fitness person that come in from Burgess. Thank you. I imagine he has a vision, and to be honest, I don't really see the issue with going small. Some of the best players in the comp at the moment and to ever play the game are small.
Yeah, I get that, but having said that, I think if you don't get the right players at that height, then you're just going to get bullied and bashed. Like, Richmond did it well. They had a lot of smalls, but they were more of like a locust type. There was just always numbers. Well, during Richmond's heyday, there was just always numbers around the ball, and that's why it worked for them. If you got players like, Rachele, who's tiny, trying to tackle blokes like Nat Fife, he's going to get belted. He's just going to get belted. And I'm sick of getting bullied by other teams. I'm sick of it.
I'm just going to say it. Josh Rachele is not a bad pick for the Crows.
If it was a higher pick, sure. Pick 6. No.
You take the best player, and Rachele arguably was the best player available at that point, and filled a need.
Arguably.
Well, you could have made it. You could have made cases for players like Hobbs, Josh Ward, etc.
We could have taken Neil Erasmus.
Yeah, but I don't think Neil Erasmus was a better prospect than Josh Rachele. Just because he's a big midfielder, which is what you want, that's what you want.
Yes.
But the best actual player was arguably Rachele.
Who won the Brownlow?
Ollie White.
What type of player is he?
He's a midfielder.
But is he a big body?
Yeah, he's a
okay,
big
no, okay.
You and Crows fans.
But is Lockie Neal a big body midfielder?
No. But Lockie...
Is Dustin Martin a big body?
Yes.
Big body?
Yeah, come on. He fends off massive dudes.
That doesn't mean he's a big body.
He's a big body.
Yeah, but I think you're confusing. a player with X factor.
The only reason
Nat Fife?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is because he gets him in the fucking neck or the face, and he never gets caught.
50.
Sorry, that's it.
Look, I like the passion.
That's the
like
only
a real
reason
passion
he fends people off is because
100%
8 times out of 10 he gets them high and he never gets picked
Dustin
up.
Martin is definitely Dangerfield. Big body midfielder.
But he's not like in terms of people like a huge.
What I'm saying is
He's just got that power
big
that
body
goes
in
with it, the
AFL,
speed.
You know what I mean? They're taller, they're wider, they've just got that power.
I like that you used the case of Ollie Wines when Crows fans were mocking Ollie Wines for years and years.
I'm
But
still mocking Ollie Wines.
yeah, you mock your Brownlow medalists.
Yeah, where was he in the pre-league?
Also,
I think that's more where with everyone else.
I do want to get your take on something actually. So, again, through a lot of our forums, I don't know if you guys want to chime in on this too. forums and Twitter, there seemed to be a lot of criticism that we didn't go with some South Australian talent. Don't get me wrong, I would have liked to draft local, but I'm of the opinion of regardless of where they're from, I think you take the best talent that you can at the pick that you have. I kind of understand where it's coming from, though, given what's happened
The history,
the past couple of seasons and everything. But by the same token, I also think that with Knicks, we're probably on the right track.
Yeah, that's
when you consider this
year.
calendar year, I think we've had 28 re-signings. So if you'd asked me this same question last year, I would have been worried. But I think at this point in time, I'm probably not a little bit more. I'm a lot more comfortable going with a bit more interstate talent to possibly get a better player.
Yeah.
Because I think with Knicks and the kind of mantra and vision
The
that
culture,
he's trying
the culture,
that he's
absolutely.
trying to build. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. The culture that he's trying to build. I'm much more comfortable picking up interstate players.
Well, that's how I feel too. Like, if you'd asked me a couple of years ago, I'd have been sweating on
like
it.
if you'd asked me the same question.
If it was the Pike era, I still would have been sweating on it.
Yeah,
People also
sweating on it,
they're also complaining about that. I need to realise that last year, I think 4 out of the 5 blokes we did draft were South Australian.
Yeah.
It was like all of them were South Aussies
Yeah,
except for
so,
one bloke,
like I said,
which is Berry. Berry was the only player that we didn't take who was a South Australian.
I understand where the criticism and where the worry is coming from, but by the same token, in the time that Knicks has been in charge, I think we've made big steps forward in terms of not just being a turnover.
Yeah, well, the 28 contract extensions speak for themselves, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always been the butt of the joke. Everyone leaves the Crows, blah, blah, blah. But we had the most contract extensions out of the whole league in the past 12 months. So everyone can sit on that and swivel. Like Jeremy over there smiling. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Nick's on his phone, quiet. Yeah, I mean, the smile said it all, mate.
I'm still laughing at you bitching about Josh Rachele.
Oh, well, who was the last great Italian we took? Gallucci. How well did that go?
Wait, who was
The last great Italian. I would have thought that player's Risciutto.
I was being
Not-
sarcastic.
You said
being sarcastic.
Nah, you just straight goalpost now.
I think Gallucci was pretty high.
Yeah, we took him
first round.
Yeah.
As high as pick 6.
See, again, going back to it, we shit the bed in the first draft. We do fine in the later picks.
Can we just remind ourselves, that they chose lots of picks, Zach Myers.
Here we go again. And you're questioning
What
me
does
about why I'm worried about our first round pick.
But that was different, though. That was different. That was a marginal pick. Rachele was arguably the best player available at that point.
Who did we take instead of Butters?
But
Butters.
Butters.
Gallucci.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, again, never judge us on...
Oh, but we fixed it up with Paholke later.
Yeah, we fixed that with Paholke. So,
Fuck me.
never if we have picked 20 or below, never judge it. If we have picked 20 or higher, don't judge it. If we have picked 20 or lower, especially in the mid to late 30s and 40s, that's where we should.
That's our wheelhouse.
That's your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
All right, so just to wrap up from an AFL standpoint, the first round will be kicking off Wednesday, March 16th. I don't know why it's on a Wednesday. Anyway,
Everyone wanted the grand final rematch to open the
No.
season, which I'm okay with.
yeah, but a Wednesday.
All I care
More
about...
footy the better.
Exactly, I was just about to say, all I care is I now have to wait one less day to
Yeah,
watch football.
that's right.
That's all I care
Yeah,
about.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I agree.
But they still put in Carlton and Richmond.
What's the date?
The 16th. So the grand final rematch.
It's so long ago. That's
Carlton
3
and
months
Richmond.
away
I
still.
don't know.
Carlton and Richmond, St Kilda and Collingwood.
Who knows, I might be trapped in Melbourne.
Jesus, Hudson will be 9 months old.
could be playing wherever. So I won't say where they're being played. All right, so that'll wrap us up here in Australia. We're out of quarantine. We'll just be moving over to the States. I don't know if we have to quarantine over there or whatever. I'm double vaxxed anyway. I don't know about yous, but so we'll be moving over to the States and be talking about some basketball and football. All right, so we are now back in the United States. We'll talk about the NFL, and the two people beside me look like they're about to lock horns and go at it. So I'll hand it over to just the start, however you like.
I just want to...
Jeremy, sorry, quickly, just before you start, should me and Nick get the popcorn out?
Yeah.
Okay, So let's just watch the.
No, you can. I'll chime in whenever.
Nick,
So-
let's just
And actually speak the first.
So, with the Patriots atop the AFC East and winning 6 games in a row, we now should return to Jake Perkins and how much he wants his Hall of Fame head coach currently sacked from the team. So, without further ado,
There are head
Mr.
nods.
Jake Perkins.
Yep, I'm still Bill out.
And there
I'm
it
not
is.
Bill out. I want McDaniels to take over. Look, everyone's going, oh, yeah, Bill, he's back. Man.
I'd like to call a timeout a minute in.
Let's all do it.
I'd like to call a timeout a minute in. There was a photo that he had sent into our messenger chat the other day, which highlights how good New England's defense has been. I'll let you carry on.
Yeah. Yes, and that's what I was going to get to. Bill has had the fortunate luck of having all the players that left for the COVID reason coming back this season. And I said it. I said it to Big Jezelenko over there, sitting down. I said it to him before the season even started. I said all the players that we're going to get back, he's going to change the team. Jerry's like,
So, hang on. So, just so I'm clear, you admit when your team had a bad start, you didn't have all your defensive players.
yes.
And you were blaming Bill Belichick basically for COVID taking out half your defense.
I was blaming Bill for the fucking play calls like that when we could have scored a field goal before halftime against the Cowboys, and he decides to take a knee, and we would have won because it went to overtime. So that's
I'm using up all my timeouts here, Peter.
You've got limited timeouts, Nick. So I want you to
Is this like the NFL timeouts or NBA? Because NBA you got 7.
NFL.
Oh shit!
You might
Well,
be
using a
NBA.
second one.
We're talking about the NFL.
Now, can we also just quickly ask you to touch on Sir Macquarie Jones? Leading
The propaganda.
No. Not just leading rookies, leading the league. Okay, the league in completions made 85%. He's throwing at 85% in his first season.
He's also thrown 5 yards for half his passes.
He's 4th in the whole league, not rookies league, for passing yards. Now, Sir Nicholas, over to my right here, called him a check down.
That was Brady.
I
was
said,
Brady.
I was comparing Brady to Mac Jones, and you said on the slide, you're like, oh yeah, just another check down merchant then. Another check down.
You don't have evidence
His
to back this
passing
up. You're
is
just making up
averaging
stuff.
9 yards per pass, mate.
You're making up stuff.
Oh,
I said that was Brady.
you said that was Brady, and you were referring that Max another check down merchant. Don't lie.
See how I'm being attacked here, Peter?
It's on the internet.
It's not on the internet. Go and find it on the internet.
Now I'm going to step away from that for a second. The Patriots were 2-4, and I was bitching, and I think that was fair enough. We lost 4. We were 0-4 at home. Okay, anyone would be upset with that. Since we've won 6 in a row. Right, so I will concede that Bill has been better. His coaching has been better, but I'm putting it more down to the fact that our defense is playing ridiculously well.
I'd like to call my my second timeout.
The coordinator is playing for our defense right now. J.C. Jackson he's intercepting for fun right now.
I'd like to call my second timeout, Peter, if I can. Who is calling plays on the defense?
That would be Belichick Jr.
Junior.
yeah,
See
that's
how
right.
this?
Yeah. Oh, is he not the defensive coordinator?
I could see that pivot there. I saw the
He is
pivot.
the defensive coordinator in name only.
Oh, there's the agenda. There is the agenda. My ass, Jeremy. My ass. He's been a defensive coordinator for a while now, and he's doing a great job. Bill is riding the coattails of his son now. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of him. First it's Brady. Now he's riding his son. And now he's got a rookie carrying him as well.
This is
Can we just say to those
This is
who
just
are
so
confident in the
sad at
podcast,
this point.
can we
This is
just-
so sad.
hang on,
Like,
can we just-
literally, second seed the AFC already saying the
can-
coach has no credit here.
Now,
None at all.
Can we just say that anyone that opens the podcast at the wrong time, when Jake says Bill Belichick is riding his son, he doesn't mean it in that context.
Well, now that you've said it now.
He's on his back, 100%. No, I'm very excited about where the Patriots are going right now. With power rankings, we've been second to fourth the past month. Everything's just clicking, and the Bills will be a massive test this week. It'll be the biggest game of the season so far. It was the Titans last weekend and we smashed them, but they were missing a few players.
I am just going to ask a quick question as well, because I saw at my bottom of our conference Steelers who got a
The end.
The end. Yeah.
So
Outside linebacker, same thing.
I think it was Monday our time. I think Monday, Tuesday our time. He got placed on the COVID-19 list.
Know that.
And then basically the other day he got turned around. So like, what's going on in the NFL with like the COVID like list? What like when you get placed on I'll find the exact wording.
No, it's pretty much if you probably contracted COVID or come in close contact, so you just can't be involved.
I think you've got to produce
That's all it is.
negative tests as well.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty much all it is.
That's what I was going to say because it was a pretty quick turnaround. So yeah, he was put on the Monday, and then the 4th of December, he was taken off. But again, this is freedom time, so it's probably.
Nicholas, I'll put it to you. Who do you think is going to make the AFC Championship game?
Baltimore. I'm still high on Baltimore. They were my preseason. They were my preseason pick to make it out of the AFC, and I'm sticking with that. Baltimore.
Whoever was on them at the time. Thank you, the Lions.
No, they beat the Lions. That was the one where Tucker kicked the record-breaking field goal. Ravens, are we talking about?
No, we're talking about Steelers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, when we drew against, yeah.
Yeah. So what? You said Ravens. And who do you have reckon?
Oh.
I don't.
I didn't realise the Steelers were playing in a few weeks.
Yeah, us.
Huh?
It was us.
No. Me and Jenkins are going to be in a few weeks' time. Yeah, we play the Vikings.
Surprised we haven't played you yet. We're in the same conference.
I'm not other team. I don't buy Tennessee in terms of what they can do defensively. Henry will be back for the playoffs, but I don't buy them defensively if they're going to be able to match. If they're going to be able to produce 2 wins against 2 good sides. Kansas City, I'm still not sure about this defense. It has improved.
They've gotten better.
Probably the most. The Bills The Bills look like they're going to win the Super Bowl 1 minute, and then they're just nowhere near it the next minute. No, I'm getting to them. Probably the most consistent team, but my only thing with New England is can they match it if one of those other teams are playing at their best?
I agree. We've had it on our...
Because consistently, their floor is actually quite high, which is good, because it means you're consistent. But is that enough that's going to put... Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So
I totally agree with that. I don't think we've been challenged very hard the past 6 weeks either. We've had most games on our terms. Yeah, I'd like to see how we go with our backs against the wall type situation. We haven't had the easiest teams, but we haven't had the best teams in the past 6 weeks either. So that's why the Bills this weekend will be a good challenge. It's in Buffalo, so I think that'll be a bit of a measuring stick as well.
The Bengals have the same record as the Chiefs, just quietly as well.
I can't believe we have the second best record in the AFC.
It's been anything really. The AFC, the NFC's been just straight up and down of what you'd usually expect, just taking out Arizona's boost.
Who would you have making the AFC Championship?
I think Kansas City, they're hitting...
Straps.
Yeah, they're
We
hitting...
did say that. To our credit, all of us, we all said if their defense wakes up, they would wake up.
It's hard really for the second one. Tennessee will be better when Derrick Henry get back. So
Well, there's only a month left of football before the playoffs. It's not like it's too early to start predicting either.
Tennessee's a weird one because they're different because if they get out early, if they get the ball early and they just keep staying ahead, like they're a team that just drains the clock. So their style would actually work against better teams. If they had a better defense, they could probably go all the way. But it's too shaky. That's their only problem.
So what do you reckon, Jeremy? Quickly, just give me your 2 teams.
I'll back Tennessee when Henry are back in. I'll say Kansas City and Tennessee.
And I'll ask the same for the NFC. Nichols?
Doesn't matter. The anything at all.
Oh, geez.
Oh, okay.
Put the agenda down now.
Okay.
I think it will be
Tampa.
probably
Tampa
Tampa
Cards.
Bay.
I'm going Tampa.
Cardinals are pretty. I reckon, yeah, I'll say Cardinals. It's Green Bay or Cardinals. I reckon. I'll back the Cardinals. They got
Those are
very
the three
good.
teams I got. Tampa, Green Bay.
I think Tampa's still, even throughout the whole season, they've had a few problems, but
You got Tom
they've
Brady. though.
they've been a lock. For the NFC
If they make the playoffs, you can't question them because Brady did it last season. He
Who
went
are they
on the
going to
road.
play?
Who did he beat? He beat Drew Brees, retired him, then beat Rodgers, and then won the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Even Jimmy G bet Rodgers.
Yeah, but Rodgers is a notorious choker in the playoffs. Too. They haven't won a ring since 2010. Everyone's like, Rodgers is better. People that say Rodgers is better than Brady are absolute morons. Like, are you missing, like, maybe do you have an extra chromosome or what's going on? Seriously. How can you say that when he hasn't won a ring since 2010? It's been 11 years and you still think Rodgers is better than Brady? Brady's like 68 and he's the current champion. Just stop.
68.
Stop with the agenda.
68.
Green Bay Packers fans are so dumb. And Michael, I know you'd be happy to hear that. They are absolute morons.
So yeah, I got Tampa locked in the MCG. Who do they play?
I think the Cardinals, they're winning without their quarterback. They just win.
If they had JJ Watt, it might have been a different. I can't buy Green Bay.
You don't mind. Okay.
Dallas?
Dallas. Oh yeah, Dallas. I forgot they exist.
Forgot they exist.
I think most people
Mike's
like
not
them.
going to be
They
happy
don't.
with that.
Cowboys. Yeah, the Cowboys are a good shout. They have a good record.
I think
What
the
are they, 8-4 as well? 8-3? 8-3.
7-4, I think, or 8-4.
Yeah, they won their last game.
So 8-4.
Yeah, they beat the Saints, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. They're another side where I just don't know
8-4.
what they're. Yeah, it's kind of weird to judge them.
Yeah.
The Rams, I can't see. Stafford looked like an MVP through the first 2 months,
He did look good, didn't he?
and now it's kind of like let's play for Detroit.
We were talking about the Von Miller trade and how it was going to change things, and they've gone worse. They're like 0-3 since getting him in,
And Odell as well.
and who did he come from? Broncos.
Yeah, Denver.
Yeah, Broncos are 3-1 or something since getting him. Simpsons, I love it.
No, Denver Broncos. Aww. Actually, just going back a couple of pods ago, when I was picking a team to support, I'm not joking when Broncos was one of the names in teams for me to pick, because then like everybody could have gone, not the Denver Broncos.
Just for the reference. It's all about the reference.
Just for the
It's not
name.
even about supporting the team. It's just for the reference.
And the funny thing is, literally the year after
They won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, 99.
They won 2 Super Bowls and Dallas haven't won any since then.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's the Simpsons curse. No one talks about the Simpsons curse, but the Dallas got Simpsons curse.
Yeah, I remember that. Because that came
Good.
out in 98, they won in 99.
It should stay that way. So is there anything else that's caught your eyes in the NFL?
No, not really.
Really? Well,
Just sitting pretty in second
This-
in the AFC.
Seattle 3-8, but they don't look like a 3-8 team. They don't look like a 3-8 team.
Russell Wilson couldn't hold that team on his back forever.
Well, I think that's probably why you don't look good, because they still got Russell Wilson under center. It's hard. It's hard for him. Because he's never been in this situation before. They've never been in this situation. I think
He's never finished on a losing season
yeah,
record.
exactly right. That's what I'm saying.
I can't understand, because I know he's been out for about a month, over a month,
What's the coach's
something.
name again?
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. A lot of people forget Pete Carroll was a Patriots coach at one stage too.
He well, I can't understand why this defense is still so bad. That's one thing. But offensively, they're not the same team. And they've got receivers that I'm not sure what's going on there. I like that they're playing shit house, but yeah, I love that. Although we've got him this week, so very good chance that we'll play him into form. Some crap like we love doing that. We see a bad team, we go, let's play him. How many injuries?
What's the over-under?
I think the over under. I'd put it at about 4. Wait, in the game or before the game starts?
After the game. So
After the game. I'd put the number at about 3.5. I think that's fair. 3.5? I'd pound the over with that.
You know what? If it was just 1, it's a good day. That's the sad thing.
You guys have made it go last, honestly. You're running backs as well.
No Debo. Probably no Fred Warner this week.
I think the good news is we have options. We've got Ayuk, he's starting to find his form. We've got George Kittle. Our running backs are still there. I don't think all is lost. Seattle aren't playing very good, just in general. So we might still be able to get away with a win. If we can get that very vital divisional win, it would be huge for us.
3-0 since McGlinchey went down, by the way, Jeremy. Just quietly. 3-0.
It's not
What'd I tell you?
3-0 though.
Alright, let's move on.
Well, yeah, it is because Jimmy G is in the form of his season, passing-wise. And he's a terrible pass blocker.
Only because we've been running the ball. And McGlinchey is a good run blocker. We would be running even better at McGlinchey.
Okay, so we're running better without him, statistically. So what does that say?
It's because Elijah Mitchell's come back. Duh.
What do you mean? He's been there the whole season. He hasn't played about 2 games. That was early in the year.
Yeah,
That was early in the year.
Yeah, he'd been hurt, he'd been hobbled. There's a reason why he wasn't playing that many snaps.
Yeah, that was about 2 games earlier in the year.
That was a lot more than 2 games. A lot more.
Anyway, we're doing fine there in that department. What we're doing is, it's crazy how it's been thought out like this. We're actually doing what is our strength. We go, we run the ball. We should do this more often. And then, 31 against the Rams. Look at
It's actually good
that.
that we run though, because most teams just don't want to run the ball. Part of the reason why we do so well against the Rams is the Rams have a defense that aren't very good at running the ball. It's a defense that goes, we dare you to run the ball on us. And the 49ers are a team like, we get to run the ball on you? Okay, that's what I like. That's why we match up with them so well.
So we'll move on to our last topic. Staying in the States. Won't have to quarantine this time with the NBA. Welcome back. Staying in the States, talking about basketball. Now, we're about 22 games, 23 games in. Start of December, so things starting to ramp up now. MVP candidates taking shape. Kind of get an idea of where teams might go. Milwaukee have picked up a lot of form. They started slow. They've picked up. Philly have really just, I think the word is plateaued. I think that's fair because hanging around 8th and just really haven't taken off. And also, the East has been kind of weird this year because you look at Chicago doing very well. Miami doing better than I thought. Washington doing better than everyone thought. Cleveland, Hornets have improved. And then you've kind of got Philly, Boston, and Atlanta. Even the Knicks just kind of sort of a start slow, and then a bit inconsistent as well. So early on, is there a team that just stands out in terms of maybe in the East? Probably who could come out of the East? Because the East is tough.
If you look at the records, there's not a lot of difference between like first and 10th, really. Maybe like 2 to 3 games difference. Which is, we're still only maybe just over a quarter of the way into the season, so there's a lot of basketball left to be played. Jeremy just told me earlier this morning that the Hornets have been hit with a COVID cluster. They've lost LaMelo, Rozier. Who else, Jeremy?
It was LaMelo, Rozier, McDaniels, and Plumlee.
Yeah, that's a big loss. Plumlee, but the other 3, pretty bad.
Yeah, we'll act like Plumlee's part of it as well.
Just quickly, the Thunder, Lakers make up 33% of their wins. Is that what
I love how you've just got that. You've got that from me, and now it's going to sound like that's your
It
statistic.
is my statistic. I brought it up. I was only out before.
The Chunde, yeah, 33%.
Just quickly, they lost by 73 points to Grizzlies. It was Memphis, I believe. Yeah, it was Memphis. Yeah. Josh Giddey didn't play.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Giddey didn't play. Is he really that much of a difference, or was just an anomaly night?
Gilgis Alexander didn't play either.
Oh, okay. So they're missing two of the better players.
73 points. It is a record,
That's
by
right.
the way.
Yes. It's a league record.
73 points.
It's a lot.
It's
Not even not even Pete's Rockets are that bad, and they are horrendous.
Down,
Although
down bad.
they did beat the Hornets. Jeremy looking at
Imagine losing to the Rockets.
Yeah.
You all were down bad.
Down bad.
152 in 4
Can we,
quarters.
for real though, just that is bad. 70.
That's horrendous.
That's you're sitting there. You're wondering what the hell has happened.
As a Thunder fan, you'd just be dumbfounded. Like you wouldn't even be painful anymore. Just be like,
Yeah, halfway through the game, it's like, no, I can't be bothered with
what's
this.
going on?
You can give it a small asterisk because you're missing like your starting backcourt, but yeesh,
70 points? No. No asterisks there.
there's a tiny.
I'm just thinking now, of all our teams that we follow, I believe it's the Celtics that are undefeated against all of your teams so far, right? Because we absolutely annihilated the Lakers by almost 30 points. What a fantastic day that was. Beat Charlotte in
Didn't watch it.
overtime, that was just as good. And we smashed the Rockets. So we're doing pretty well. We haven't played the Warriors
It's not a
yet,
flex,
so...
dude.
It's a flex beating them.
The flex being
Yeah,
ninth in
but,
the East, Peter,
you know.
apparently. That's what it's all about, being ninth in the East.
The worst bit for you is that after all that, you're still below the Hornets. On the
That's
line.
only because we lost yesterday. We were ahead of you yesterday, then we lost.
And we had injuries and COVID protocols.
The only reason we lost to the Jazz is because we hit 14 threes ourselves. They scored 27
Yeah,
threes.
but that
and
was
we lost by 7 points.
That was the same against the Rockets, though. The Rockets had a career.
So they hit 36 more points off threes, and we only lost by 7 points.
Well, that's the NBA for you. You live by the three, you die by the three, and if you live by the three.
So annoying. Well, that's what happened to you guys with the Rockets. The Rockets
Yeah.
were just hitting threes for fun.
They were hitting ridiculous contested crap, so.
Speaking of which, LaMelo hit a ridiculous contested three to send a game to overtime a couple days ago. Who was that against, Jess? He ended up losing, but
Well, what was that, sorry?
LaMelo hit a ridiculous three to tie up
Oh,
the game.
against Milwaukee.
Yeah, that's right. It was the Bucks. That was a ridiculous shot. Very, very impressed. I watched that. But the NBA in the West is probably.
He's being convinced by LaMelo Ball now.
He's a good
The
player.
agenda against him now.
Now, to be fair,
My agenda is
That-
against the Ball family.
Now, to be fair,
That counts. That counts. He's part of the family.
I mean, he's got you there. He's
No, I like LaMelo. I think he's a great player. He's the best of all of them. Easy. Although Lonzo has proven me wrong too. I thought he was severely overrated, but he's been a lot better for the Bulls. Like he's actually hitting shots. He's taking shots as well. He's not just passing the ball. So give him credit where it's due. But I think in the West, it's either the Suns, Warriors, or Jazz. The Jazz are serial regular season winners. So I think it would be either the Warriors or the Suns that come out of the West.
I really want to see a Suns Warriors conference finals.
I think that will be the case. I think that's what it will come down to.
They are by far the two best teams in the NBA, and they've split it against each other.
Yeah, for sure. But I think the Nets will come out the East, and I think the Warriors will come out the West. I think it will be Warriors versus Nets in the final.
I can't buy the Nets defensively. They don't.
That's true. They don't.
Well,
really
they
need-
do because what happened last year against Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, the Bucks. I can't write the Bucks off either.
Fourth sixth at the moment or something. But even if they end up finishing third or fourth, they finished third last year in the East, and it can still work out. So I can't buy Brooklyn defensively.
I think there are certain
Like Kevin Durant has to be like he is right now, leading the MVP race for them to just be, up the top at the moment.
The Durantula, yeah, I think he'll come here. In playoff, he'll switch on too. I think there are certain teams that it doesn't matter where they make the playoffs. If they're in there, they're a chance. I think the Lakers, purely because of LeBron. I think, don't shake your head, you Lakers fan. I know you're off the stage.
Just.
LeBron, there's always the chance.
Do you want me to tell you what's going to happen, or do you want to find out yourself? I told him the same week, about 8 weeks ago, to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He didn't listen to me. Look what happened. I won the treble.
Hang on,
Get ready. I could tell you. I'll give you the same question. I'll tell you what's going to happen, or do you want to just?
I know what's going to happen. You'll make playoffs and you'll get bumped out the first round. Yeah. Yes, I agree that will happen, but I'm just saying there's always that chance that you have LeBron. The Bucks, another team, if they make the playoffs, it doesn't matter where they make it. There's a chance to win.
Bucks a bit different though because
Nets, another team.
the Bucks have pretty much got almost the same squad. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the Bucks were to finish 6th or something, I would still have them above a team maybe like the Hornets if they finished 3rd or 4th. I still have the Bucks ahead of them purely because the Giannis factor and they are the champions.
Charlotte need a centre before they can begin to think about being a title contender. They have the shooting. Oh no, sorry, they need 2 things. They need a big man and they need better defense. That's what they need.
But who's the big man that you can afford to get though?
I don't know. There's not really a big trade
It's not a
market
big
in
market.
the NBA
No,
right
it's
now.
not. It's not.
in terms of a traditional center, or
You need a centre that can shoot, can stretch the floor, can rebound, play defense. It doesn't have to be an all-star. It just has to be
Brook Lopez.
Just decent.
No, he can't rebound.
If you could get a centre that could get you, I don't know, 15 points a game and 10 rebounds, I think that would take you a long way as well.
I would like to see maybe
Valanciunas?
Sorry,
Valanciunas?
I don't think he'll ever shoot like that again in his entire career.
I thought you meant like someone that's able to rebound at a high level. and
Yeah,
score.
I would like to see.
Well, who are you going to get that's going to be able to do that and then be able to stretch without it being a premium player?
To get a centre that's not on the bench, someone like Harold, who's a bench player.
You can't shoot for 3.
Yes, you can.
Three?
Did it against us.
Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah. Did it against us.
Are we talking about the same Montrezl Harrell here?
Apparently, because he shot him against us.
What? 1 for 1? Even Dwight Howard can do that.
I wish it was 1 for 1.
Montrezl Harrell. You're tripping balls here.
He's not.
Hang on a minute. No, I don't believe this. Montrezl Harrell, a 3-point shooter.
I'm not saying he's a.
I got some bad news for you, pal. If you think that's going to work out.
Alright, but
I'm not saying he's a 3-point shooter. I'm just saying he shot threes against us. Bastard.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
He had 15 points.
I already knew that. That's not really news. Hang on, let me find this. I'm not sold on this at all.
He's not sold on this at all.
25% from 3, Jeremy. 2 for 8 on the year. He's a 3-point shooter.
Oh, he must have shot both of those threes.
Yeah, there. Yeah, we're 2 for 2. Even Dwight Howard's done that this year.
That actually shows how bad the Hornets' defense is if we let Montrezl Harrell have 2 threes. Actually, that actually sort of proves my point for me right there. That sort of actually proves my point.
Defensively, you need to be better.
For me. Defensively, yeah.
I'm not talking about that point. I'm talking about who you're going to bring in as that center.
I think defensive-wise, a lot of it also comes to rebounding.
I'm just going to quickly change the subject. Was LeBron's elbow intention?
I think he meant to swing it. I don't think he meant to bust him open like that.
I think he knew what he was doing.
I don't think he knew he was.
I think the
gonna bust
reaction from Shaw is the funniest part. It's like he was all calm. He was at everything. Like, LeBron even came up to him. He's like, all right, I'm sorry. And he just walked off and everything was fine. It's like the moment he saw blood, he started to panic and was like, oh my God, I've got to go after him.
Freaked out. Well, you see LeBron ran off real quick because Stewart is like a karate champion or something. Like, he's got a background in mixed martial arts, and LeBron was out there real quick. And then Westbrook trying to...
He tried to square up in the corner. I saw that.
Oh my fuck! The photo. Oh shit. Oh my god. Westbrook squared up looked hilarious. He looked like a fucking kangaroo.
He just stand there and it was just like the hands came out that quick.
Oh, that was elite. But was it
He's there for his team.
Was a 1 game ban fair, or should it have been longer, or should it not been banned? I think it should have been longer.
Longer? Oh.
You can't elbow someone in the face.
Well, that's why. Okay, but not like.
If that was AFL,
if it's a wind up, it's different.
If that was AFL and someone got busted open from an elbow like that, how many weeks would they get?
Yeah, but if is it the same action as what LeBron did?
Same action.
It would probably be a week.
I don't know.
It's not a wind up. It was just to try and box out.
It split him. It had to be a pretty fucking hard hit to split.
Yeah, but it's about the action, not the outcome.
I know, I get it, but I think one game was a bit... I think if it was anyone else, they would have gotten more than one game. I think there was a very strong LeBron factor there.
Well, even if it was Steph or KD.
Yeah. Oh, maybe not those two. I think...
Honest?
I don't know. Are they... Probably. I think yeah, the higher profile players wouldn't get banned as long as... If it was Stewart who'd done that to LeBron, how many games would he be out?
I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be that much. I think it'd probably be one.
Nah, I think it would be more, 2 or 3. I think if Stewart had hit him...
Flagrant 2 is the right call. That's fine. Ejection. That was.
Yeah,
that's obviously going to happen.
ejection, yeah.
That's.
They're both going to get ejected for it. But
I don't know.
I think if Stewart had hit him, I think it would have been a 2 to 3 game ban.
I don't think it would be 3 games.
I think the LeBron tax is there. Alive and well.
Not even. Well, Nikola Jokic got 1 game, and that was for the one in tomorrow's. Now that was a retaliation, but that was deliberate. That was 100% deliberate.
I still think he's...
On the other hand, Morris, he didn't get any games for what he did either, and that was deliberate.
He got fined.
Yeah, he got fined. If you can get fined, not that it wouldn't mean anything for what LeBron earns,
Well,
but still.
We all know I'm a huge LeBron fan. Like, if there's one person on the planet that loves LeBron, it's me.
Yeah, it's you, 100%.
He definitely should have got more than 1 game. Can't stand him. And he's a
Sarcastic on both fronts.
communist.
Oh my god, communist.
Preaches equal rights. People in America, black people, have been put down, but I'll happily have Chinese people make shoes for me.
No, hang on, no, you're confusing what he said from when he was in China. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm saying,
Like our pre-season games, what, last year or whatever it was?
what I'm saying is he preaches social justice, right? And they take knees and everything. But then he's...
Yeah, but you don't know what he said when he was in China and they asked him about it.
But what I'm saying is he still has the relationship with China, knowing what they do. Like, you can't preach social
You can't,
justice.
okay, but you can't knock someone for saying, I don't want to speak on the topic, I don't know anything about it.
Of course he knows about it.
Okay, but what, you're going to force him to come up with a comment?
He's paying the fucking little 6-year-old Feng Wei 3 cents an hour to make his shoes, and he's preaching social justice in America. Kiss my ass.
Hang on, that's a different time. That was to do with Korea and China, that thing there.
It's just so hypocritical. He wants social justice, but he's fine with them slaving.
Well, he's not speaking on the topic.
Yes, but he should be. That's the point. He's burying his head in the sand because he knows he's in the wrong read.
The Black Lives Matter thing, that's one thing, because that's within the United States. That's a huge thing.
I get that.
That's something that he can control.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to walk into China, the biggest, most populated country in the world, say some things, and they're going to be like, yeah, that actually makes sense.
You got to remember, LeBron has massive worldwide influence. People listen to what he says. So if he was...
China is not the United States.
Yeah, I know, I get that. But he knows that. That's what I'm saying. That's why he's not speaking out, because he knows he would be fucked if China stopped backing him, because he makes all his money off of them making his shoes, all his merchandise.
I mean, I would have thought being on 40 million a year,
That's
number
nothing.
one.
He gets
A movie, number 2. What do you mean that's nothing?
I guarantee his salary would be probably maybe 4th or 5th on the list of what he gets paid most by. You got to admit.
What do you mean?
Like I'm saying, he'd be making more money off his merchandise sales than he would be his contract.
Oh, yeah, but also other endorsements as well, not just with Nike.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he was truly about social justice, he would end his relationship with China. That's all I'm saying. And the fact that they literally had a female tennis player go missing because she spoke out about a Chinese official who sexually assaulted her. She was world number 2 once.
Well, there you go. Maybe he just didn't want to be bloody assaulted.
He doesn't want it. He does not speak up because he knows what can happen. And now the WTA, the Women's Tennis Association, has banned China from joining all competitions until they get video evidence of her alive and well.
Wait, so hang on. So if his well-being is in danger and he's in China making these comments, would you be scared to make those comments as well?
Absolutely. So say it in America. Make a stand. End your relationship with China. How can you still...
Yeah, but he's not gonna get he's not gonna bloody get...
You get my point, though. He's making money off...
I
of
definitely
a
get your
slave
side. I definitely get your side. But I'm saying it's not like he came out and it was just like, oh, well, I don't care what's going on. It's like nothing like that.
I get that. But he's also not saying the right thing. If he's all about social justice, he should be all about social justice everywhere. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I was saying.
No, fair enough.
That's what I wanted to say. Anything else?
I don't know. I think it's about you. You just wanted to get out these agendas of yours.
Oh, it's not an agenda. It's a fair. You get my point. It's a fair point, right? He wants social justice. Then he's got children making his shoes in China for like 10 cents an hour, and all this crap that's going on over there, and he's still got the relationship. So I just see the hypocrisy in it. It's not my agenda against LeBron. It's the hypocrisy. If it was another player, I'd say the same thing. And the fact is, LeBron is the most influential player in the league. So what he says a lot of the time has an impact.
You're right. It's not an agenda against LeBron. Although your agenda against LeBron is huge.
Yeah,
But that's different.
This isn't a part of my agenda against LeBron. It was just I just don't agree with the hypocrisy of it all.
Okay. Who is currently leading the MVP race?
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry?
Yeah, I mean, I reckon it has to be Steph at this rate.
Yeah,
It's really hard.
Over Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I'd say.
With KD leading the league in points and not even being top 10 in attempts?
Still got Steph personally.
It's just something about Steph, what he does. I don't know. Maybe it's just because they're top of the West, but, you know, it's...
Brooklyn are top of the East.
Yeah, but did we
You're gonna
not go back before
the
saying
Warriors.
that the East are not the same as the West?
Look at the Warriors' run too. Like their current record too. They are ridiculously good. How many games did they win in a row? And they just ended the Suns streak as well.
I think they've lost about 3 games for the year.
Yeah, they're like 20.
3 or 4 games.
Yes.
But you then lost to the Rockets, so that cancels it out.
Yeah, well, at least I can say we didn't actually play that badly. It was Houston sinking all those bullshit threes.
I feel you on that, motherfucker. 27 threes from the Jazz yesterday.
Yeah, but I'm not disagreeing with that.
No, I know. It's bullshit.
Houston shooting threes, like... You gotta
It's like,
defend
you're
that
not
shit.
meant to shoot anything. You're meant to be fucking Houston. And then they're bloody turning into prime Steph everywhere.
It's a heat effect. It's the one game we watched.
Yeah.
Drain the threes from everywhere.
If he watches every game from here, look out. I think they're on a 5-game win streak, just quietly.
Who?
Houston.
Really?
4 or 5 it was. Yeah.
That's when they lost the other day. Well, they won.
I reckon they're on a 4-game win. It's 4. I reckon it's 4.
You're on the run.
I should probably know this.
What is the answer, Peter?
If you ask me
Peter.
who the Rockets coach is, he'll give you that look. I don't know. Oh, shit.
To be fair, most
My man speaks Ohio.
hardcore Rocket fans don't want to know who their coaches are either, to be fair.
Yes. Alright.
Anything else that's caught your eye before we wrap up?
No, I'm good.
Another agenda you need to push,
My
or
agendas have all been spoken. I'm good.
sure?
Yeah.
Anything about maybe Tatum or Westbrook?
Don't
or...
give him ideas.
I don't know.
Oh,
Come on, you gave him ideas. You gave him ideas. You absolute
I just
idiot.
want to add on the 23 or under best players, the conversation we all had, the disrespect to Tatum was disgusting. He's second in the league.
Hang on. Okay,
He's the
yeah,
most-
okay.
let me finish. The most
Hang on, I'll give
points
context
scored-
first.
most
Context.
points scored in the fourth quarter. He's second in the league.
I'll give context first before we go into this further. So, we had a question from Jeremy the other day, and it was: is Ja Morant the best player under 23 years old currently in the league? Correct.
Yes.
And so we went through it, and we came up with the top 4. Okay, this is not in any particular order. So we got Morant, we've got Trae Young, we've got Luka, and Jason Tatum. I said in no order. I was just saying it for the names.
I knew you still say
So we had a whole debate, and so I think we're reigniting it now, so you can have your case here.
So the Boston fan wanted Tatum. Now, I think you could make a case
The
for
agenda
Tatum.
pusher.
I think you can make a case for Tatum over Trae Young. There is no way you can make a case for Tatum over Ja or...
Trae Young's number 1.
What has Morant done? Has he taken his team to the ECF finals at 20? Has he consistently been in the playoffs?
I'm
Has he
saying
been the main man?
best player
Trae Young's
on the
number
best team. I didn't say the best team.
I'm
it's
just
the best
saying,
player.
the disrespect. You sleep on Tatum way too much.
I put him in the top 4 of
He's
players
top
at 23.
three.
And you want to
He's
know
top three,
who was a player I didn't put in that top 4 was LaMelo
He's
Ball.
top 3.
So you're saying I'm...
Nah, with the mellow. Just
It
realised.
goes back to some sort of...
Yeah, but my point is I didn't put LaMelo in that top 4. I put Tatum Tatum on there, and you were talking about disrespect.
I'm telling you, because he's top 3. He's top 3.
I said you could make a case for him over Trae Young.
Yeah, since he's come in the league, he's been in the playoffs every year.
He's played for Boston, of course, in the East. Of course, he's been in the playoffs every year.
No, that's not fair. We lost Irving and Hayward, and it had to come down to a 22-year-old Jaylen Brown and a 20-year-old Tatum, and they took us all the way to the ECF against LeBron, and we lost in Game 7.
Boston were not as bad as you said you think they were. It's not like they had to get dragged up to the playoffs. They were not as bad a team, especially in the East, that you as
A
you
20-year-old Tatum pushed LeBron
It
to
doesn't.
Game 7.
I'm not saying anything against Tatum. He's in the top 4, isn't he?
He's top 3. I'm not. He's working me up. I don't want to do it anymore.
He does realise I said you could make a case for Tatum over Trae Young.
Yeah, but Trae Young's number 1.
You've got Trae number 1.
I would.
Number 1.
He's not even the best in his draft class, though.
And if he's number 1, then obviously he's going to be ahead of Luka, isn't he?
Luka is a serial regular.
Are you actually going to say Trae Young is better than Luka Doncic?
Yep.
No.
Luka can't make it out of the first round.
I agree.
Luka, hang on.
You need to disagree because that's your only chance.
Well, hang on.
No, I just think Doncic is a serial regular season player.
Hang on.
Doncic is an all-star.
So is Trae Young.
So is
No, I'm
Tatum.
not saying it against Trae Young.
Okay, well,
But you're saying...
Luka couldn't make it out of the first round with Kawhi going in, out of the playoffs.
Regular season player.
Against the Clippers. The Clippers, not like a winning franchise. The Clippers.
Yeah, but the Clippers are loaded. Though.
Oh, God.
Don't get me wrong, they're underachieving.
I have as many finals appearances as the Clippers.
But they are loaded as a team.
Are they though? Are they though?
Yes. Alright.
Are they really loaded?
We're getting the waving the
Anyway, we may be able to continue this discussion next week. I'm sure it'll just reignite randomly.
Also, just quickly before we head off, this may or may not be the last time my voice is on the pod for a little while. I'm going over to visit some friends and family, not family, but some friends and former housemates over in Melbourne. And depending on what happens with the borders and everything, at the moment I'm meant to go on the 14th, but depending what happens during the week, I may or may not have to jump the gun and go over early, and depending if we decide to do what I think we're probably going to do and lock down the borders, I might be stuck over there for a little bit. So you may not hear my wonderful little voice for a little while.
Yeah, for about 6 months, considering they're better lock down the border.
Knowing what we're like, I'll be back in 2023.
Alright, so that will do us for another edition of Tween the Lines. We hope you've enjoyed it. Hit us up on Podbean and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as Facebook and Twitter. And hope you've enjoyed the episode, and we'll be sure to bring you another one next week.
Alright, and thanks for the ongoing support.